This is North Texas Weather Center with your latest 4-minute forecast, and let's get right into that potential for severe weather. Going into tonight, there is a marginal threat for severe weather across Northeastern DFW that does include Sherman, McKinney, Sulphur Springs, and Paris. The main threat tonight being some damaging wind gusts and maybe some large hail out of a few storms, primarily after sunset. We should stay dry throughout the day today. This may affect your plans for the lunar eclipse tonight, so just keep that in mind if you have any plans. Let's take a look at the future radar for you. So throughout the day today, we'll stay dry, as I mentioned before. After sunset, a complex of storms, it's going to be a broken line of storms, will approach out of the north, out of the Oklahoma region. This will eventually drop down to the south. Now, depending on the cap here in DFW, we might see a storm or two. It seems like these will weaken as they get closer to the Metroplex, so you can see by 11 o'clock, they start to enter into northern North Texas. Eventually by midnight to 1 o'clock, most of the shower and storm activities remaining east of I-35W, and again, maybe a potential for some severe weather out of a storm or two, again, mainly being some damaging wind gusts up to 65 miles per hour, and maybe some $1.25 sized hail out of a storm or two. By 6 to 7 in the morning, some scattered showers still remaining, but eventually this will start to push down to the south, and we should dry out heading into the late morning hours on Monday. Let's take a look at the temperatures this morning. You can see temperatures are starting out in the low 70s across the region. Eventually by about 4 o'clock this afternoon, we will get into the mid 90s, so it's going to be another hot day out there. Back out to the west, you can see many of us reaching potentially into the low 100s, so it'll definitely be a hot day out there for many of us. Let's take a look at the pattern that we're in as of right now. Again, we have that ridge that's been kind of blocking off our area for any precipitation for a while. We will see a pattern change later this week. You can see here's your jet stream going into early next week, and we might actually have a potential for a severe weather outbreak on Monday or Tuesday, and this will mainly be because we might have a negatively tilted trough that will eventually enter the southern and central plains. This is heading into late Monday into Tuesday, kind of a little bit of a negatively tilted trough there. It might bring a potential for some severe weather. Here's another look at it going into early next week. Here's your little trough that might develop going into Monday. Your low pressure system center there. You can see all the really strong low-level shear out in front of that. That might create a tornado outbreak potentially across the southern plains. Now, whether that will include Texas or not is still a bit of a question mark. Again, we'll have more details for you as we get closer on that. Here's a look at the temperature anomalies, by the way. We will stay above average throughout the entire week. However, we will start to see a decrease in temperatures, maybe some below average temperatures going into early next week. And that's, again, because of that trough. Here's your trough located on Tuesday. All that colder air might be coming out of Canada. That might bring a few, or at least North Texas might be a little bit cooler into the maybe the upper 70s or lower 80s for highs heading into next week. So that's something to look forward to. Obviously, in the next 7 days, we'll still be in the 90s for the most part. Take a look at precipitation going into later this week. You can see we'll stay pretty much dry through most of this week. Isolated storms possible on Thursday, Friday, maybe Saturday. Heading into Sunday, as I mentioned before, Sunday into Monday, there might be some showers and storms. This might be our chance for some severe weather. Looks like the main threat will be back off to our north and east, and eventually heading into maybe Tuesday or late Monday into Tuesday morning, might be some more showers and storms. Again, that might pose a potential for some severe weather. Quick look at the tropics, by the way. This is kind of a bit of a talk for a few days. A lot of people have been saying there's gonna be this big hurricane. It's been going all around on social media. A lot of hype built around this little system. I'm not really concerned about it as of right now. It's been showing up on the GFS model that maybe a hurricane or something would develop. I'm not forecasting that, but it's just something to kind of look at as of right now. This has been going on and off with the GFS model for several days now. So as of right now, not forecasting it, but just definitely something to keep in mind, just in case you have any plans heading into any time next week in terms of the Caribbean. Take a look at the temperatures tomorrow morning. Temperatures will be in the upper 60s and low 70s, and eventually by the afternoon hours, you can see many of us going to be actually a bit cooler. Some upper 80s back off to the north and low to mid 90s across the Metroplex. Here's your latest North Texas Weather Center 7-day forecast, and again, temperatures over the next several days gonna be a hot one, especially on Tuesday. It's looking like we'll be closer to 100 on Tuesday. Eventually going to late next week, or this week, excuse me, you can see temperatures going to the weekend still not that bad. I mean, we're starting to start dropping off into Saturday into Sunday. Eventually by Monday of next week, I'm currently forecasting a high of only 80 degrees. So it's going to be looking like a nice week going into next week. This forecast is brought to you by Platinum Contracting, the Dashner Law Firm, and All Dents Repair.